the titans of industry.
I'm going to eat healthy. It's expensive. Guess what's more expensive? The hospital.
We're not just talking about success stories here. We're diving deep into their hearts and minds to see what drives them.
Ibalik mo ako.
Let's go.
Naiikot ako.
We
Hello
are
po.
live. We are
Industry Beat on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
The latest news, national issues, the political scene, and conversations with prominent personalities. All these firsthand at the forefront. Good morning. I am Attorney Karen Jimeno. Although the official filing of candidacies will start next week, the race for the 2025 midterm elections is on. Yesterday, President Bongbong Marcos has officially announced the candidates of the administration under the coalition Alyansa Para sa Bagong Pilipinas. They will go up against candidates from other parties, which can hardly complete their respective slates. In the 2019 midterm elections during the term of President Duterte, his endorsed candidates completely wiped out the opposition. Will President Bongbong Marcos' candidates dominate the 2025 midterm elections? On phone patch, since he's in Baguio for an engagement, we have Liberal Party Executive Vice President, Attorney Erin Tañada. Good morning, Attorney Erin.
Good morning, Karen, at sa lahat ng nanonood sa programa ninyo sa Bilyonaryo.
Thank you so much for your time. So let's start with the candidates for the Liberal Party. Who are the official candidates of the LP?
Well, we've endorsed and nominated Senator Kiko Pangilinan as the senatorial candidate of the Liberal Party. And he will be running in coalition with Bam Aquino of KNP and Chel Jokno of Makabayan.
Will you also be supporting other candidates, like having shared candidates?
Yes, we'll leave it up to the highest elected opposition leader right now, si Senator Risa Ontiveros, on who she feels will be an asset in the coalition state.
So there's no truth to the rumors that LP is not in good terms with other parties like Risa Ontiveros as an individual, or Makabayan Bloc and LP also not together?
Well, what I know at this point, is that Senator Risa is the highest elected official of the opposition. We recognize that, and she's the one trying to put up together a slate that would be what we will field in the 2025 election. Now, I don't know the discussions, if there are any discussions with the Makabayan Bloc. I've noticed that the Makabayan block fielded 11 and there's one empty slot, so I don't know what that means once once the campaign season starts. But right at this point, we on the side of the LP, we nominated Kiko as a member of the LP, and then we also will support as part of the coalition Bam Aquino and Chel Jokno.
Attorney Erin, we're now observing 4 major political parties. One is the Alyansa Para sa Bagong Pilipinas, which is the administration's party, and the Dutertes, the Liberal Party, and the Makabayan bloc. Is your party, the LP, allied with any of these other parties?
Well, of course, with the administration party at this point, they have a complete slate, no? So we're not in talks with the administration bloc. With regard to the Duterte slate, the PTP slate, we're also not in talks with that aggregation. So we're just left, of course, with only our coalition, and I don't know if there are any talks between the coalition that was formed, the alliance that was formed between LP, KNP, and Akbayan with the Makabayan bloc. So at this point, maybe there are four aggregations that would be participating in the 2025 elections.
Attorney Erin, how far back did the LP and your coalition decide on the candidates? And do you anticipate any changes?
Well, at this point, on the side of the LP, I think there will be no more changes. It was really Senator Kiko Pangilinan that would have participated. So we don't see any changes on the LP side. Now, whether Senator Risa decides to add to the number that we have 3 right now, I think it will be left to Senator Risa's discretion and talks between the three candidates on what they see.
Attorney Erin, with former Senator Laila de Lima, she is not running for senator, but previously she told us that she would likely be the spokesperson for the LP.
Well, she is.
Yes.
Yes, she's presently the spokesperson of the LP. She decided really not to participate in the 2025 elections, knowing that she was just released last November, and her final case was dismissed sometime in July. So she will have difficulty in preparation. So she had decided really that running in the senatorial campaign in 2025 would be difficult without any such preparation. Now, with regard to running in a different position, Senator Laila had already made a decision on that, and she will be the first nominee of the party list, the sectoral party list wing of the Liberal Party, which is the Mamayang Liberal, which we call ML. So she's the first nominee of ML.
Okay, so she will potentially go to Congress through a party list of the Liberal Party.
Yes.
Okay. And Attorney Erin, will there be an official announcement of the candidates of the LP, like the traditional raising of hands?
We already did that last Friday, September 20. We had our National Executive Council meeting, and that is where we announced our endorsement and support for Senator Kiko, and we also announced the support for the sectoral party list wing of the Liberal Party, ML, Mamayang Liberal, and we announced the nominees of the ML, which were, like I mentioned, Senator Laila de Lima, former Congressman Teddy Bagilat, and yours truly.
Okay, you as well, Attorney Erin. Okay,
Yes.
will the Liberal Party's candidates be filing their certificate of candidacies individually or as a group?
Well, right now, what I know individually, unless there are discussions with Senator Risa, if she wants it, all of them at the same time. But based on my recollection, even in the 2022 elections, the candidates filed individually with their certificates of candidacies with the COMELEC.
Attorney Erin, what is the platform of the Liberal Party?
Well, we believe in liberal democracy. We believe in good governance. We believe in we're pro-environment. We believe in human rights. We believe that our marginalized should be given more voice. So participatory democracy is also included there. So the Liberal Party has been a party that was established since 1946. Based on its record, it has stood up to fight for issues that really affect the Filipino people. As a matter of fact, it was targeted when martial law was declared in 1972. The Secretary General of the party, Senator Ninoy Aquino, was incarcerated, and some other individuals who were identified with the Liberal Party. And then, of course, in the last administration, the Liberal Party again was attacked. Senator Laila de Lima was arrested, and we're grateful that she was released. But it was quite chilling to find out from Mayor Jed Madbilog of Iloilo City that if he did go to Camp Cramed, this was mentioned in the Quadcom meeting, that he would be asked to even point to Senator Mar Rojas and Senator Frank Drilon as drug cuttlers. So you could see that the Liberal Party has been ostracized, has been demonized, and yet we continue to soldier on and fight for people's issues.
Thank you so much, Attorney Erin Tañada, and thank you for joining us despite your trip in Baguio.
Thank you, Karen, and all the people that watch your program in Billionario.
Thank you. Up next, we have Leody De Guzman via Zoom. At the forefront, we'll be right back.
It has no authorization.
We hope and pray that it will not rise.
Thanks for having me here.
An orchestrated
By myself, basically.
We always say that.
It depends.
A well-concerted effort.
Perhaps I can reiterate.
My greatest beefsteak. Iba pala yun.
This is The Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Rojas.
Get ready. Be prepared. Get to the latest stories, updates, and reports about what's happening in the world of sports. Hosted by Anton Rojas.
Where sports is our business and business is our sport.
The Scorecard, 10 p.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.
Welcome back at the forefront. Joining us is Leody De Guzman. Good morning, Leody.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat dyan sa studio. Maraming salamat sa invitasyon.
Good morning. It's nice to see you again. The last time po that I saw you, I was moderating the senatorial debates.
Okay.
And now it's the elections again. Leody, will you be running with a political party?
Oo. Kaming dalawa ni Atty. Luke ay tatakbo sa ilalim ng Partido, Lakas ng Masa.
And ilan po kayo sa partido ninyo?
Dapat mga 3 kami pero inaayos pa namin yung isa. Kinukumbinsi pa.
Okay, so will you be supporting other candidates or will you strictly be endorsing just the candidates in your party?
Open kami na mag-endorse pa ng iba pa kasi 12 naman. Pero sigurado ako na mga katulad din naming mga kandidato mula sa hanay ng mga sektor at ng masa.
Leody, sino-sino po yung mga yon?
Posible ay ito yung mga candidate sa Makabayan, sila, at saka mga progresibong kandidato.
Can you tell us sino potentially yung mga yon in terms of yung mga
Pwede bang
individuals?
i-excuse muna ako kasi pagpapasyahan pa namin pero may general nakaisahan kami na magbubukas kami ng dagdag na mga kandidato pero yung eksaktong mga pangalan baka naman magalit sa akin yung aking grupo kapag ini-announce ko na nang wala pang opisyal na pagkakaisa.
Okay, sige po. In terms of yung mga major political parties that exist right now, meron tayong political party ng current administration, yung political party ni former President Duterte, the liberal parties, and the Makabayan bloc. Is your party coordinating with any of those major parties or in open talks with them?
Wala pang aktual na pag-uusap sa alinman. Pero ang meron ay yung pag-uusap ng mga nalaman naming kandidato mula sa hanay ng mga manggagawa. May initial na pag-uusap na at pagkakasundo na yung mga leader manggagawa na tatakbong senador ay dapat magkaroon ng pagsama-sama para magkaroon ng isang boses at panawagan para sa interes ng mga manggagawa.
And Leody, mag-file po ba kayo ng candidacies ninyo individually or as a group?
As a group kami, dalawa pa lang naman kami ngayon. Kung kami dalawa pa rin lang talaga pagdating ng October at hindi namin makumbinsi yung isa pa, dalawa kami sabay na magpapile ng candidacy sa October 4.
October 4. And ang dalawa po na yon ay ikaw at si Attorney Luke Espiritu. And bakit specifically October 4 po yung napili ninyong date?
Iwan ko ba doon sa team namin kasi in-inform lang ako na October 4 daw eh. Siguro para maaga.
Okay, akala ko naman napafungsoy niyo po yung araw na yun. Okay, and pagka-file ninyo, yun na po, meron pa po ba kayong separate na official announcement of your candidacies on behalf of your party? Will you have a separate ceremony for that?
Mamaya, actually ngayon, dapat nandun ako. Mayroon kaming convention ngayon doon sa Marikina Hotel kung saan i-officialize yung pagtakbo ko bilang senador at ni Atty. Luke. Doon siguro pagpapasya na rin kung sino pa yung mga kandidato na aming susuportahan sa next year election.
And Leody, ano po ba yung platform ng political party ninyo?
Yung pa rin naman, kung ano yung narinig mo sa akin noong tayo magkasama noong nakaraang eleksyon noong 2019.
At saka 2022 po, nung senatorial debates, yes.
Oo, yun pa rin naman yung aming issue dahil wala pa namang natutugunan doon sa aming mga kahilingan. Halimbawa, yung dagdag na sahod para sa mga manggagawa, yung pagkakaroon ng full employment ng ating mga manggagawa, yung itigil na yung provincial rate, tapos yung kontraktualisasyon ng mga manggagawa, yung i-tax hindi yung mga mahihirap, kundi dapat ang i-tax na ngayon ay yung mga bilyonaryong maaapaw ang kailang kayamanan kahit sa panahon ng pandemya. Dapat sila naman ang mag-shoulder ng gastusin ng ating pamahalaan at hindi yung mga mahihirap sa anyo ng VAT. Kailangan i-implement, ipatupad, pag-usapan yung wealth tax. Then, ang madadagdag lang siguro ngayon, alam mo, ay yung political dynasty dahil ginagawang malaking issue ng mga political dynasty yung issue yan dahil halos po punuin na ng mga political dynasty yung ating Senado. Magkakapatid na at pati yung mga newcomers na papasok ay galing din sa hanay ng political dynasty na sa paniniwala namin, alam mo, ito yung punot dulo ng problema ng ating bansa dahil sila ang gumagawa ng batas, patakaran, programa na pabor sa mga mayayaman at laban sa mga manggagawa at ating mga mahihirap na kababayan.
Leody, you've run in the past at hindi pa po kayo nagsasucceed at hindi po ba kayo napapagod sa pagtakbo?
Medyo nakakapagod din, siyempre. Dahil palaging natatalo. Pangalawa, nag-aalangan dahil siyempre alam naman natin ang eleksyon dito sa Pilipinas. Pera-pera, pasikatan, popularity. Pero maganda ring itanong, alam mo, maganda ring itanong yan doon sa mga palaging nananalo. Natakbo pa rin sila ng takbo, wala namang nangyayaring pagbabago sa kanilang mga pinangako. Walang nababago sa buhay ng mga masang Pilipino. Mataas pa rin ang kuryente, mataas pa rin ang presyo ng bigas, marami pa rin walang trabaho, mababa ang sahod. Dapat silang tanungin din Takbo kayo ng takbo, nananalo naman kayo, pero wala naman nababago. Yung inyong pinapangako, hindi naman nangyayari.
Very good point. Salamat po, Leody, and good luck with your filing.
Ay, salamat. Salamat sa iyo.
Thank you. Up next, we have Attorney Carlos Isagani Zarate joining us live at the forefront. We'll be right back.
In the Philippines, women entrepreneurs make up a significant 60% of all MSMEs. Innovations are transforming job markets and the financial future of OFWs. The buy now, pay later industry is rapidly transforming how Filipinos manage everyday spending, but it also raises questions about its impact on personal finances. I'm Erin, welcome to Follow the Money.
Weekdays, 10:30 a.m. on BNC.
Ako si Corina Sanchez Rojas. Ako si Pinky Webb. Simulan na natin ang agenda. No show sa hearing si VP Sara at ang mga taga-Office of the Vice President.
Ang budget, hawak lang ng 2 tao.
Pangbubudol na naman po yan.
Mananatili muna sa Campo Crame si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy.
Yung kaso po nito ay non-bailable.
At sa East Timor si Pope Francis para isulong ang interreligious harmony. Sa bawat issue may anggulo at ang balita may agenda.
Let's take a look at today's headlines.
Get to know the latest weather update and forecast with information to help us understand important aspects regarding our climate.
You're leading the charge of combating climate change, and you finally experienced it.
More weather updates and stories about the environment, climate change, and disaster preparedness, where we'll stay together whatever the weather.
Weather HQ with Paulo Del Rosario, 9 a.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. Weekdays on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. BNC, the Billionario News Channel. Always on top.
What is your biggest mistake?
My greatest beefsteak.
I wanted to do that before I aura.
Aura.
Yeah.
We shine a light on the trailblazers, the disruptors, the titans of industry.
I'm going to eat healthy. It's expensive. Guess what's more expensive? The hospital.
We're not just talking about success stories here. We're diving deep into their hearts and minds to see what drives them.
Balik mo ako.
Let's go.
Naiikot ako. Hello po.
We are
Industry Beat on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.
Welcome back at the forefront. Apart from the PBBM slate, the only political party which seems to be organized right now for the midterms elections is the Makabayan Coalition. We're grateful for the presence of Makabayan Coalition Vice Chairperson, former Congressman Atty. Carlos Isagani Zarate. Good morning, Attorney
Good morning,
Carlos.
Karen, at good morning to all our viewers and listeners.
Let's start with the Makabayan bloc. So right now, who are your official candidates?
Well, this morning we'll be having our Congress and tomorrow our National Convention. And we will be fielding 11 candidates coming from the different sectors. No? Siyempre, magbabattle dyan yung aming graduating 3-term members of the House, si Representative Franz Castro from ACT Teachers Party List, then si Representative Arlene Brosas, no, from Gabriela Women's Party. Then from Bayan Muna, we will also be fielding former Congressman Teddy Casino, of course, former Congresswoman Lisa Masa. Then we also have from the workers, si Jerome Adonis, the Secretary General of the Kilusang Mayo Uno. Then Kadaning Ramos from the, Kilusang Magbubukid ng Pilipinas. We also have from Piston, mga driver, si Kamodi. Tapos sa Urban Poor naman, si Kamimi. Tapos mayroon sa health sector, si Nurse Aline. And sino pa ba? 11 na ba yun? May nakalimutan ba ako?
Later is the congressional convention. So we'll be able to hear all the 11 individuals. Is that going to be the official announcement?
Yes. Sa Congress this morning, no, they will be nominated. Then tomorrow sa convention, they will be presented to the members of the coalition for their affirmation. Of course, kasama rin pala natin dyan si Miss Mira Lidasan, also from Bayan Muna. He's a moral leader. And I think for now, yun pa lang yung naririnig natin na leader from the Bangsamoro na tatakbo rin senador.
And kayo po ba, Attorney Carlos, will you be running for any position?
Yesterday was the convention of Bayan Muna, and I was nominated para sa party list naman, no? Together with Attorney Nery Colmenares and former Congressman Ferdy Gaite. So kami yung first three. Then we also have 7 other more nominees for the party list Bayan Muna.
Bayan Muna party list. Okay. And what is the platform for the Makabayan bloc?
Well, ang binabanner ngayon Attorney Karen, no, ng Bayan Muna is Taong Bayan naman, no? So, we are presenting an alternative candidates doon sa pare-parehong mga mukha na lang, pare-parehong pangalan na tumatakbo, no? Nananalo din naman sila at pero talagang walang pagbabago sa ating lipunan, no? So, basically yun yung aming call, Taong Bayan naman sa Senado, which will echo doon sa matagal nang itinutulak ng Makabayan Bloc na pambansang demokrasya, no? Na kailangan kung sino yung nakakarami sa ating lipunan, ay dapat sila rin yung magkaroon ng mas maraming representasyon, no? Sa lahat na antas ng pamamahala, no? Maging lokal man yan at nasyonal. But as we have seen, since the restoration of Congress after EDSA Revolution, ay sino bang mga manggagawa at sino bang mga magsasaka nakaupo sa Senado, no? So ito na siguro yung panahon dahil it's almost 40 years na after EDSA, but yung pinangako ng EDSA na bubuti ang buhay ng milyong-milyong Pilipino hindi pa rin nangyayari.
Attorney Carlos, with what you see in the politics right now where it's based on name recall, like you said, pare-pareho yung mga nananalo, meron po bang ginawa ang Makabayan Bloc in terms of strategy so that you'll have better chances of having your candidates win for the 2025 elections?
Well, we also don't have this parang illusion, no, na napakadali nung electoral struggle because as mentioned by other guests kanina, labanan din ito ng resources, no, ng mga pera, tao. But while this is a painstaking process, again, since we started fielding senatorial candidates in, I think, 2010 election, ay nakaka-build naman kami ng constituency, no? Dahan-dahan, despite us being the center of attacks, as always, no? In every election, napakaraming namatay sa amin. But we continue to participate in the process, no? And dahil sa patuloy na pagsulong ng Makabayan sa prosesong ito, I think naiangat din natin, no? Yung level ng discourse na hindi na lang pwedeng sasayaw-sayaw ka na lang dyan, hindi pwedeng kakanta-kanta ka na lang. Kailangan pag-usapan natin yung programa. So, ang aming strategy is still doon sa ground, no? Magpapaliwanag sa mga mamamayan, uorganisahin sila at mobilize them to go to the polls and elect the people, no, na dapat na nakaupo dyan sa Senado or sa Kongreso or sa anumang antas ng pamamahala.
And is the Makabayan Bloc having any conversations with the other dominant organized parties like the President Bongbong Marcos's party, Liberal Party, or former President Duterte's party?
Definitely, no sa amin yung administrasyon. But as far as I know, mayroong mga individual na pag-uusap. Kung hindi man partido to partido, mga individual na pag-uusap. In the past, for example, in the 2022 election, nagsama-sama naman yung mga with like-minded individuals. Kaya nga ni Leody, for example, ni Luke, at nung iba pa. Sa 2022 election. Lalo na yung nagkaroon ng alliance, yung mga candidates running under the banner ng Labor. So tuloy-tuloy naman yan at bukas naman din ang Makabayan. While we are already fielding 11, we are still open to discussion, even on the ground. Kasi kailangan paramihin natin, palakasin natin yung boses ng mga ordinaryong mamamayan. Kahit nga sa lower house ngayon, na kinupo na ng halimbawa ng mga dinastiya, ng mga malalaking interest groups ang part of the system. So kailangan magparami pa rin. Kailangan, sabi ko nga, painstaking ito. But this is the only way that yung puso nung kung saan nandoon yung labanan, nandoon din yung mga nagpapasa ng batas na para lang sa interest nila, ay kailangan i-confront natin at i-engage natin.
Attorney Carlos, earlier, we had Attorney Erin Tañada also, and he is with the Liberal Party. He mentioned that the Makabayan bloc has left one slot open out of your 11, diba, that's senatorial slate. And he said he doesn't know what that means. What does that mean? Are you saving it for someone, potentially?
Yes, we're still open. As I mentioned earlier, may mga talks naman sa individuals, and malalaman natin yan after this Congress or after this convention or even after the filing of the certificates of candidacy, kung saan makikita na natin kung sino talaga yung naghain ng kanilang mga certificate of nomination and acceptance or CONA, then that discussion or conversation will continue and even towards the election. So marami namang levels na magkakatulungan ang mga progresibong grupo, individual na ang gusto nating mangyari ay gawing bihikulo ang electoral process para itaas ang kamalayan ng ating mga mamamayan na ang eleksyon ay hindi lamang paligsahan ito ng mga milyonaryo o bilyonaryo. Ang eleksyon dapat ay sumasalamin sa interes ng ating mga mamamayan na hanggang ngayon, almost 40 years after EDSA, ay lugmok na lugmok pa rin sa kahirapan. So yun ang dapat pangunahin sa natunguhin, bakit tayo lumalahok sa eleksyon.
And what does that look like? Will you consider having an LP candidate in that 12th slot for the Makabayan bloc, or would you rather get it from individuals like Leody or Attorney Luke?
For now, hindi ko pwedeng pangunahan yung aming Kongreso at National Convention, at even yung aming set of officers na gumagawa ng ganitong pakikipag-usap sa mga individual. But certainly, yung mga katulad ng pag-iisip at mga programa na mga individual ay pwede pa rin maging maisama doon sa slate ng Makabayan bloc.
And Teddy Baguila, before, I think he already ran for Senate in the past?
Yes, in 2022.
Right now, what post is he going to run for?
What I learned is he's a nominee of the Mamamayang Liberal, or it's a party list group, together with the former Senator Leody De Lima, as well as Attorney Erin.
So he's not part of the Makabayan bloc? He's with the Liberal Party
he's with the Liberal
coalition?
Party.
Okay.
And it's a welcome, na they're also participating in the party list election.
Is the Makabayan bloc having any discussions with the Liberal Party coalition?
Well, as a party-to-party, as I've said, wala akong alam. But some individuals, even before, especially in 2022 elections, dahil magkasama kami doon sa broad coalition that supported former Vice President Leni Robredo. So, hindi naman pinutol yung mga ugnayan na yon on individual basis, na paano ba magkakatulungan in different campaigns, even in the past. Halimbawa sa usapin ng martial law, usapin ng extrajudicial killings, and other issues.
Attorney Carlos, you mentioned earlier that the platform of the Makabayan bloc is progressive, and you're introducing new faces to politics. Definitely, this is the antithesis to the political dynasties. Is this compatible with having anyone from the Liberal Party, where you also have some candidates there that have previously served in Senate or in other positions and can also come from families that are political, like, for example, Bam Aquino.
Yes naman. I think, Attorney Karen, even in the past, may mga collaborations kami, engagement, when they are still sitting as senators, at kami naman sa House, may mga tulungan dahil may mga progresibong tulak din sila doon sa Senado. Halimbawa, si former Senator Bam, former Senator Kiko, and several others. In the past, si Senator Grace Poe ay nakaka-engage din namin sa Senado. So, as I have said, for now, tuloy-tuloy yung engagement and discussions, even after the filing of the certificates of candidacy. Ang mahalaga ngayon ay ma-broaden din actually natin yung programang progresibo na dadalhin ng Makabayan at ng iba pang mga kandidato sa loob ng Senado at sa loob ng House of Representatives.
If you were to compare po, in terms of having an administration that represents the principles that you might not agree with, how would you compare the administration of former President Duterte with the current administration of President Bongbong Marcos?
Substantially, sa tingin namin, wala naman nagbago. Siguro ang nagbago lang yung pagmumura dati at wala ngayon. Medyo may kaluwagan ngayon. Pero kung tingnan mo yung pagtutulak ng present administration ng mga neoliberal economic policies, andyan pa rin yung liberalization na nagpapabansot sa ating ekonomiya. Nabanggit kanina ni Leody, hanggang ngayon yung usapin ng dagdag sahod sa ating mga manggagawa ay isang pangako lang. Kung may ibinigay man, kakarampot. Hindi nga makabili ng 1 kilong bigas. Nagtataasan pa rin yung presyo ng mga bilihin. Yung sinasabing gawing 20 pesos yung kilo ng bigas ay hindi pa rin. Despite the fact that we are being flooded by imported rice. Na sabi nila nung ipinapasa nila yung rice liberalization law, it will lower the prices of rice. But it did not happen. So, in terms of policies, wala masyadong pagkakaiba ang previous administration. But of course, we know under the previous administration of President Duterte, nung tyrannical rule niya has resulted to a lot of deaths, doon sa war against drugs, ang daming namatay noon. Yung kanyang pag-allow ng mga batas, halimbawa, nung niratsada nila halimbawa itong batas sa Pogo, kung ano naging epekto nito ngayon sa ating ekonomiya at sa ating bansa, at marami pang iba. But other than that, as I've said, yung policies nila pareho. Even on issues of human rights, until now, laganap yung enforced disappearances. Halos linggo-linggo may naibabalitang mga members of the progressive organizations that are being abducted. And President Marcos should say something about this. Tahimik rin siya, in the same manner na tahimik siya sa ibang malalaking issues. So, kaya kailangan na tuloy-tuloy yung engagement natin. Hindi pwedeng sabihin na talagang nagbago na ang Pilipinas. In fact, kung titingnan mo, wala namang nagbago. Siguro nagbago lang yung mga mukha na nakaupo sa Malacanang, but they are still pushing for the same system that, in fact, make our country poorer, and nalubog ngayon sa grabing utang.
Would you say red tagging is still present?
Red tagging is still very much present. In fact, yesterday, andyan pa rin yung number one institution or agency that engages in red tagging, the NTF-ELCAC. At lahat, marami pa rin red tagging. And alam naman natin, Attorney Karen, na ang red tagging is not just labeling. It's just a vilification campaign. It's very dangerous because it resulted to killings of people who are red tagged. While there is already a decision by the Supreme Court recognizing red tagging as very dangerous, I think it behooves on this administration to really say that it is not a policy. Huhintuin ito. Yun nga ang sinasabi namin, ang nangunguna sa pangre-red tag ay itong NTF-ELCAC na sinimulan sa panahon ni Pangulong Duterte at pinagpapatuloy naman ngayon sa panahon ni Mr. Marcos.
What can you say about the budget hearing? So we've seen that the confidential funds still exist, and this was questioned when they had the hearing for the Office of the Vice President, but for the Office of the President, they had invoked parliamentary courtesy. But we've had Congresswoman Franz Castro here at the forefront, and she said the Makabayan bloc is consistent that they are opposed to all types of confidential funds for any office or department. Pag may nanalo po sa Makabayan Block, how would you deal with confidential funds?
We will continue with our advocacy. When I was still in Congress as Deputy Minority Leader in the 18th Congress, isa yan sa talaga itinutulak natin dahil we noticed, Attorney Karen, na dati, meron namang confidential and intelligence fund sa mga security sector. Even that, kina-question namin dahil palubo ng palubo yun. But eventually, nilipat na nila sa mga civilian agencies. Even DepEd, meron na. Sumunod na rin yung mga constitutional bodies like Office of the Ombudsman at iba pang mga ahensya. So, tingin namin, this is a kind of pork barrel na given to an agency dahil it's a lump sum and hindi siya transparent how this will be expended by the one holding the budget. So, tutuloy natin ito sa susunod na Kongreso. In fact, ang aming panawagan dyan to abolish all these confidential and intelligence funds, especially sa mga civilian agencies. And make no mistake about this, ang pinakamalaking mayroong confidential fund is the Office of the President. And remember, he is already the Commander-in-Chief. Hawak niya lahat yung mga security agencies na doon na nakalagak yung malalaki rin mga confidential and intelligence funds. Then why meron pa rin napakalaki, billion in fact, ang intelligence and confidential fund ng Office of the President. So, nakita naman sa mga debate, hindi lang naman Office of the Vice President ang ating tinatanong, kundi lahat, maging ang Office of the President. Yun nga lang, as you mentioned, the majority is parang selective, may parliamentary courtesy sa Office of the President, pero doon sa ibang ahensya ay wala, hindi tinatanong. But again, we will continue to question this confidential and intelligence fund. And in fact, hindi lang yan, dahil meron pang ibang mga lump sum budget na kailangang aralin talaga, like the unprogrammed fund, na billion na rin ngayon, na saan ba ito talaga napupunta at paano ito ginugugol?
The other senator I could think of that has the same position when it comes to budget, even eliminating unprogrammed funds, would be Senator Ping Lacson. But he's currently under the administration slate. Is that something that Makabayan Bloc would consider endorsing or supporting also someone that is in the administration state? Pagpareho kayo on certain grounds.
I cannot say for sure, but I hope Senator Ping will continue his advocacy against the pork barrel system dahil nakakasama naman kami niya noon, especially doon sa laban ng PDAP, lump sum, and even the disbursement acceleration program, the DAP. So also, dahil hindi lang naman kailangan sa House. While the budget begins in the House, mahalaga rin doon sa Senate dahil ang kapangyarihan nila ay mag-introduce ng mga amendments doon sa in-approve na budget ng House. So we need more people actually in the Senate that will also scrutinize the budget being passed by the House.
There are rumors that there are plans to impeach Vice President Sara Duterte. Is this something that the Makabayan Bloc will support? Vice President Sara mentioned in the past that there seems to be also an alliance or discussions between Congresswoman Franz Castro and the Makabayan Bloc and Speaker Martin Romualdez. Can you comment on this?
I think that is a classic fake news. It is not true that there is a discussion between the Speaker, or for that matter, his party or the majority, and the Makabayan Bloc and Representative Castro or yung mga nakaupo namin ngayon sa Kongreso for the impeachment. But there are now clamor to impeach the Vice President, starting from the fact that she refuses to explain, for example, paano ba niya ginastos yung 125 million na confidential fund in 11 days. At bakit ayaw niyang kung humarap man siya sa House, ay ayaw niyang sagutin yung mga tanong ng House. So, ito ngayon ay pinag-aaralan. And in fact, yesterday, it was announced by Bagong Alyansang Makabayan, Chair Teddy Casino, that they are now preparing and studying the filing of an impeachment complaint. Kami naman sa Bayan Muna, sa Makabayan Bloc, ang mahalaga sa amin, kung meron mang sinusulong na ganito, ay pangungunahan ito ng mga people's organization. And we will certainly support that. If the time comes that a complaint will be filed And there is a need for the Makabayan blocks, members of the House to endorse this.
And Attorney Carlos, for the Makabayan bloc, if you are able to get Senate slates and even in Congress, you're fielding several candidates there, including yourself for a party list position. Can you give us one example of a priority legislation that Makabayan will push for?
Still, our priority now, our major priorities, ay yung pagtutulak pa rin, Attorney Karen, ng free land distribution bill. No? Dati tinatawag namin itong Genuine Agrarian Reform Bill. No? Dahil as of now, there's already a reconcentration of agricultural lands to the hands of a few. No? So that shows na may weaknesses or failure yung previous agrarian reform bills, no? That it failed to liberate our farmers from the band-aids of the soil, as they say. No? Hanggang ngayon talaga, mahirap pa rin yung mga farmers. No? Marami pa rin mga magsasaka na hindi nila pag-aari yung kanilang lupa. Second, siyempre itutulak namin yung tungkol sa kabuhayan. No? Sa mga manggagawa natin, no? Itutulak namin na kailangan gawin ng legislated itong wage. Hindi pwedeng iiwan ito doon sa mga tripartite wage boards. No? In fact, we are calling for the abolition of these tripartite wage boards. No? And siyempre, pangunahin ding tinutulak natin yung sa usapin naman ng ating pambansang soberanya. No? Ngayon nga, parang ang ating mga pamahalaan, no? From the previous to the next, kung saan-saan lang kumikiling, nag-pivot to China, ito namang present administration ngayon, mas grabe naman ang kanyang pangunguyupapa doon sa Amerika. No? So, we will continue to advocate for a true and independent foreign policy, no? Na ang sinusulong natin na interest ng mamamayang Pilipino at interest ng ating bansa. At marami pang iba, no, na mga usapin na kailangang isulong sa House and the Senate.
But it's good to understand what the priorities are and what Makabayan Bloc stands for. Thank you so much, Attorney Carlos Zarate.
Yeah. Thank you, Attorney Karen. Thank you rin sa program.
While the administration has fielded a complete Senate slate of 12 candidates, they are nonetheless a coalition of parties. With our country's political party system already broken wide open, other parties believe that their respective candidates have fair chances of winning in next year's elections. Midterms elections is important to the sitting president. It's a validation of the people's support for his administration. The answer will come in the 2025 elections. Be timely informed, be insightful of the news. Always stay at the forefront. Join us again on Monday for meaningful conversations that will help you form an objective personal opinion. This is Attorney Karen Jimeno. Have a good weekend ahead.
Good morning, everyone! Let's begin your morning with these people that gives you the hottest information with excitement, positivity, and fun to start your day. Join Paulo Del Rosario and Asis Carrillo and Monique Tuzon.
Let's kick things off with some good vibes.
It's time to wake up and make this day amazing. For more happy moments, only here.
It's a beautiful day. 7 a.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.
Now, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas expects improvements in the country's external payments, leading to a higher surplus. Philippine shares enter bull market territory after surging past the 7,400 level.
Get the latest on the economy and the financial markets, down to each basis point.
Everything is looking good for us. What are your thoughts on this? Given that the tides are changing, how have you revised your target?